Hi friends, I'm Gwen.
And I'm Jacqueline. Welcome to Talk Bookish to Me,
the podcast where friends get together and talk about books. Happy Monday, folks. Thanks for joining us. If you live in America, chances are you'll be celebrating Thanksgiving in a few days. In today's episode, we thought it would be nice to gather around the table and share things we're thankful for. Yes, even books. But first, I wanted to remind you that the December episodes will be on December 14th and the 28th. We allowed some time for off-air festivities and wrapping up our reading year strong.
So I know we talk about current reads, and I literally just finished my current read that I was about to talk about, and I guess I'll just say what it was, but I just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I was doing it for like a secret TBR thing, and I remember when you were here visiting me, you were like, oh, I want to wait and hear like what you thought, because you weren't sure if you wanted to read it, but I do think it's worth the read. I think I'm going to read it 4 stars. So
wow. The
ending is like super fast paced, and I don't know, like, did you ever watch Pretty Little Liars or no?
Yes.
Okay, well, it is very much like Pretty Little Liars.
Okay, I like that show.
Okay, so then I think that you would like it, even though it's YA. Like, I mean, there were some, like, faults in it that I, like, that's why I didn't give it 5, but the last, like, quarter is, like, super fast-paced, and, like, I didn't know who did it, and, like, so that was pretty cool. But my next current read, I'm going to be reading this book called Sickened. And it's a memoir. You guys should know now that I'm, like, fascinated with, like, really weird memoirs.
I'm so interested. What's it about?
It's about the Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Okay.
And so it's an actual, like, I mean, think about that. Like, I've read books about that mental disorder, I guess, would it be? Mm-hmm. But they were all, like, fiction type books. And then I watched The Act on Hulu, which is actually about, like, the Mommy Dearest or whatever it was actually called. But yeah, so this is going to be my first memoir about it, and I'm picking it up at the library today. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a spoiler vlog for it. Like, I literally just decided this yesterday. I was going through my Goodreads, and it was on my want to read, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I like really wanted to read this book, and the library had it, and I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm in the mood for. So I can't wait to read it.
Oh my gosh, you have to do a spoiler vlog for it, because I am, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think. And also, knowing that you rated a YA kind of like thriller book 4 stars, that's huge, you guys. That means you need to go out and get it if you haven't read it, because if Jacqueline rates a YA story higher than 3, like, run to the store right now, put it in your cart, walk away, because it's worth the wait. Okay, so I am currently reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It's a classic about the 4 March sisters and their life during the Civil War era. When the new movie released, I didn't watch it, because I've never read the book. I've watched several movie adaptations, but never have read the book. And I was like, before I watch the movie, I'm going to actually read the book. And yeah, here it is, middle of November. And I'm just now reading the book. And it's been on my TBR all year. So I've been slacking a little bit. But yeah, that's what I'm reading. I went outside earlier. Read in the sunshine. It was so nice, because it is getting dark so quickly. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to make it a point in the morning, before like noon, when it's still like nice outside and the sun is out, and try to get a little vitamin D, a little bit of sunshine. Because I do get a little sad in the winter, time with the sun and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I got some reading done this morning, but I didn't finish.
That's awesome. Oh, when you watch the movie, you should tell me when, and I'll watch it with you, because I haven't seen the new movie yet. I watched like the older version when I was younger, but I've heard it's really great. So if you want to do like a buddy watch with
that
me,
would be fun.
Okay.
So for our Thanksgiving episode, I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the books that we're thankful for. As avid readers, most of the time, books have a way of shaping our lives, the decisions we make, how we see the world, feeling seen, less alone. So which books are you the most thankful for, Jacqueline?
Okay, so I have more than 6 on this list, because some of them are like a little bit doubled up. But my number 1 book that I'm thankful for is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. And I'm pretty sure that you feel the same way that I do about it. It's because this book is one of the only books that I feel like talks about infertility in the correct way, and it makes all of us feel very like seen and understood, because that's something that a lot of people don't understand how we're feeling. So yeah, that I read that book a couple of years ago, but I'm always just like so thankful that Colleen Hoover like did the research to write it correctly. And then I'm actually thankful for 2 historical fictions. Like, what? So, Cruel Beautiful World by Carolyn Leavitt, or Leavitt, I'm not sure. It's Leavitt. And then The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. And I'm thankful for those just because they were kind of getting me into like a light historical fiction, because before this year, I would just say like, I'd be like, no, I don't like historical fiction. Like, I'm not even going to try and read it. And both of those books, like one of them I had to read because of an event I was doing in my book club, and it was like I had to read it, there was no other choice. And then The Cruel Beautiful World, like you had sent me and you were like, you have to read this, like this is such a great book. And I am so glad, because those are some of my like favorite books of all time. And then I have Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid and Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. And I'm so thankful for these books, because these are more like alternate reality type books, and it really makes you think about like the decisions you make in life and being happy with them. And so I don't know, it's like one of my favorite tropes, and anytime I read a book that's like that, where a character, either their life is like split into 2 and you're following both different ways, or in Una Out of Order, like she is traveling through her life but it's out of order. So like one year she might be 1992, and then one year she might be like 50 years old in like 2020 or something like that. And then she'll go back to like when she was younger again. And I don't know, they just really make me think to be like thankful for like where I am in my life, and thankful for what I have in my life, because you never know, like even if you had chosen a different path, that doesn't mean that path was going to be better. You know, I don't know. I just really like the behind the scenes of those types of books.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then I have a graphic novel, A Quiet Girl in a Noisy World by Debbie Tung. And I'm just thankful for that, because that was my very first graphic novel that I read. And so that's definitely gotten me into more graphic novels. I didn't think that I would be a graphic novel type person, but now I really, really enjoy them. And then last but not least, this is like a shout out to now me really loving nonfiction memoirs. I'm thankful for The Sound of Gravel by Ruth Werner and Educated by Tara Westover. Both of those are memoirs that the first one, The Sound of Gravel, is about a polygamist cult. And oh my gosh, I like cried my eyes out during that book, because you just don't think that things like this happen in the world, and it really does. And then with Educated, that also had kind of like some cultish feels in it, but it's about this family. They are Mormon, and they just like deal with a lot of things of like how they grew up without any education, how their dad was, how they got away from kind of like the abusive way that they were like raised. And that's why I'm excited about like the book I'm about to currently read, Sickened, because I don't know, I just really I feel like these books kind of open my eyes to be like, you know, what are other people dealing with? You know, I might have a hard week and I'm like, oh my gosh, my life is so hard. But like, no, compared to these other people, my life is a piece of cake. So I'm just thankful that I like reading those books so I can, you know, kind of learn things.
Definitely. Yeah, I read, of course, The Sound of Gravel because of you, and I actually picked up Educated recently from the Book Exchange, so I can read that one as well, because I really did so I think you're getting me into memoirs as well. Okay, so starting off, yes, of course, All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, but also a poetry collection, Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernill. Both of these I read right around the time that I started my fertility journey, and that journey didn't end so well. And right at the end of that, when I was finding out kind of the negative side of things, these books pulled me out of the very dark place that I was starting to enter. And I literally thank both of them for like making me still here today. I tell people this all the time, but like Jacqueline said, the fertility timeline and how it was told with such care and precision, and All Your Perfects was just Perfect. So yeah, I also want to shout out After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the one that I reread at the start of the year. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this year, but I did it for 2020 and I do not regret that decision. I'll continue to read that over and over again. But I guess I always hope that romance and marriage would be like those Hallmark movies where everything goes perfect, like a fairy tale. But the reality is that relationships are messy, but that doesn't make them bad or less in any way. And I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier. So this book just highlights that like, relations really aren't perfect and marriage isn't perfect. And like, I think I just needed that reminder, and I do need that reminder sometimes. So when I do, I kind of like read that book, and it shows you that even though things aren't perfect fairy tale Hallmark, then, it doesn't mean it's bad. You just got to work through it. And I really like that. I also want to credit another poetry collection by Amanda Lovelace. This one is called Break Your Glass Slippers. And it's about overcoming things. And I'm a plus size gal, and I have days that I love my body and days that I don't. And I do struggle with that. But this collection showed me that even I deserve to take up the space that I do. And I think that's important. The next one is like a flashback to middle grade nostalgia, the Babysitter's Club books. These books meant so much to me. They're the series that got me into reading. Well, this and Sweet Valley High, but the Babysitter's Club is why I started babysitting. It's why I nannied. It's why I became a teacher. So working with children is all thanks to this series, and the fact that I can return to it as an adult and still enjoy it, I think says something about the strength of the story. Even after all of these years.
That is so cool. I did not know that about you.
Yeah. So like I said, it was like one of the very first series that I ever did along with Sweet Valley High. Sweet Valley High just wanted me to be a twin. I just wanted to be a twin because, but the Babysitter's Club book, like I was reading those when I was younger, and I started like babysitting my neighbors, and then like I said, nanny to teacher and all that. So literally that projected me on my whole path, not only like my love of reading, but like my profession as well. So I always have to thank that series. Another one is One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. I know I've talked about this on several different episodes, but I don't have anything new to add per se. I just want to say that I think it really gave a voice to so many plus size conversations, and I appreciate that. And the last one that I'll mention is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, which odd choice to say thanks to, but it really did open me up to the horror genre. So many people online were talking about this book, and at first I was like, oh no, like nope, that's not for me. Sounds weird, not really up my alley. But the more I heard about it, I was like, I'm interested. So yeah, the more I heard, I started wondering what the buzz was about, and I really, really enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. Before we dive into our end of the year TBRs, 2020 has been a heavy year for many reasons, and we'd like to celebrate the bright spots sprinkled throughout the year that kept us going. What are some of the other things in your life besides books that you're thankful for?
This one I feel like just goes for, I don't know, maybe not every married couple is thankful for their husband. I don't know. But I am definitely thankful for my husband. Like if you don't know my story, like we met and got married within 6 months. And so I remember back during that time, a lot of people were very judgmental about that. There were some people that, not necessarily came out of hiding, but kind of were like, oh yeah, my grandparents like met and married in 3 months and they've been married for 60 years or whatever. So I was very nervous just by everybody being very negative about that. But I know now, because we just celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary this year, and I know that like it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter how soon or how long you get married or not get married. It just really depends on like the people and your communication and compromising and all of that kind of stuff. So I am so thankful for my husband because he is literally the best person for me. Yeah. And speaking of that, we bought a new house. So I'm like thankful that he works hard and is always, like providing for me and stuff. But yeah, we are moving literally very soon, December 4th. So, I'm in the middle of packing. I know. I'm so excited though for the new house. And I know that everyone on like YouTube is really excited for like moving vlogs. And I can't wait to see where I'm going to film. And even with recording the podcast, like that's probably even going to be better. It's just really exciting. And then I'm also excited for like all of my online friends, my book club. We took our very first book club retreat this year. We went to Gatlinburg. We got this big cabin, and I think there was like 15 of us maybe that like went and stayed in this cabin, and it was like one of the most fun times in my life. It was something that I guess because I didn't go to school and I went to community college, so I didn't really have like, a dorm and college friends, and I didn't have college friends that got married, all that kind of stuff. I never did that stuff. So for the first time in my life, going somewhere with like friends and spending days kind of vacationing with friends was like the most surreal, like coolest thing ever. Yeah, so I loved that. I can't wait for next year. I'm also thankful for how much my YouTube channels have grown, because I have 2 different channels, and I am just so thankful for the amount of subscribers like on both channels. Like, I just can't believe that this many people are like follow me and like care about my life. And I mean, I'm able to make money from that, and like I'm like, it's just amazing, and I'm very, 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 very thankful for that. And then of course, like having a good job with like through COVID, I know a lot of people haven't been able to keep their jobs, or it's been very hard like for their jobs, but thankfully I do have a good job, and a lot of my friends and family have been healthy during COVID, so I know I'm very thankful for that. Like, I know that a lot of people have been struggling through that. And then I am thankful for you, Gwen. Like, oh my gosh, I was the most thankful for you. When was that? Like last week, 2 weeks ago? Like, oh my gosh, when you had to come help me with my foster placement. Yeah, I could not have done that without you. Like, literally.
Yeah, it was fun times for sure. So, like you, I always say, I'm super thankful for my faith and my friendships and my family. I mean, those are always going to be the top 3 every single year. Like, when you sit around with your family, like, what are you thankful for? Well, you guys, of course, my friends and my faith, like, hands down. But I have also had really good health throughout COVID, and for the most part, my family has. There's been a few hiccups along the way. We did have a death in the family, and my mother-in-law did literally this morning just get out of the ER. Mm-hmm. So, and she was there for a couple of days. So that was a little scary, but overall, great health, no COVID-related symptoms. I was still able to go to my doctor's appointments that I needed to go to, and I only did my chiropractor appointments like in person, but everything was like super safe. And I was able to do my allergy appointments earlier, like back in the spring. I was able to do those all over the phone, and so that was really helpful, and pick up my medication, without being in contact and stuff like that. So that everything just kind of kept going smooth along like the healthcare front. So that was really nice. And it just made me feel like even though things were crazy, at least I had, all of the things that I needed. Mm-hmm. Also, my dog needing all of those surgeries, it started back at like in March, at the end of March, like right as COVID and everything. And I was terrified because I didn't know how long that was going to go on. And it ended up, her surgeries, like, and the recovery period was a 5-month period. So it literally took up like my entire summer of, having to keep her confined, but also having to take her for a lot of like appointments, like surgeries and stuff like that. So just having the money and being able to be home to watch her, because she had like bilateral surgery, like on both of her back legs. So just being able to be here and take care of her daily and watch her medicine, and just all of that, and how it all worked out. And like, she's back to being her normal self. So nobody worry about my dog. She's great. But for 5 months, I was a little on edge, but we're on the other side. And as you said, my husband, always, I love his humor and his flexibility. Those are things that I definitely need in my life. I think I'm kind of funny, but I'm probably not. And if I am funny, like at all, it's all thanks to my husband, because he's literally hilarious. And he's way more flexible than I am. I like to say, like, I adapt to change easily. I'm lying. I don't. So with COVID and with my job and just everything up in the air, I always overthink it. I start spiraling a little bit. And he's like the calm, cool, collected one that's like, it's gonna be okay. And he just always supports my crazy passions. I didn't want to go back to work. He's like, well, yeah, it's probably better that you don't, and stuff like that. So it just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, he's top of the top. So we're so lucky. And also, our friendship has been a super duper highlight for me. It was just in March 17th, when we started talking and collabing online, and so lucky that, you know, you were tested, that we were able to meet and hang out and without fear of like being sick or whatever like that. So it's just been really great. And I think that we had that long period of time where we were able to build a solid foundation for our friendship, that by the time we met, it was like, you're my best friend. And then like we're doing this podcast together, and I just feel like every single day I get closer to you and I learn more about you and you learn more about me. But I think the reason why it's really working for me is because I like friendships that challenge me, and I like, you know, people that will give me a different view on something, that will call me out on something, that will teach me something new. And I think you do that. You know, you're like really good in the kitchen, and I'm not. So just like little things like that, you're like, hey, try this cookbook, or, you know, think about this, and how I can just talk things out with you. Super, super helpful. So love our friendship.
We need to give a shout out to Penny for making this friendship even start, because she was the one that was like, hey, you need to watch Gwendolyn Kessinger on YouTube. And I was like, oh, I don't even know who that is.
I know.
And then I started watching you, and then I was like, ooh, Booktubers and Brews. And then
that was so crazy. You just told me that the other day, that it was like her, and I was like, oh my gosh, Penny. Yeah, so thank you, Penny, for our friendship, because like inseparable. So some other like minor little things, Animal Crossing New Horizons, that game, it launched days before my job closed its doors. And I have spent literally hours and hours of my life this year playing this game. It's allowed me to have fun, to get creative, to make friends, and have a bit of joy in my day-to-day life when things were so dark and crazy. And I just thought, oh no, is this ever going to end? Like, I could just hop on there for like 30 minutes, an hour, however long. I mean, I have logged some hours, guys. But it just, and then I also got my husband playing, which I didn't think he was going to play at first, but he was kind of like, okay. And we've played together. Yep. So just like meeting people and just being able to kind of like zone out. Like, I have done that with books, but I've also been able to do that with this game.
It's like a different world.
It is. It's totally different. And mentioning Animal Crossing, they just dropped the new update.
I didn't get to watch the trailer yet. I can't wait.
I sent it to you right before. I was like, oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's so exciting. So yeah,
I cannot wait.
I don't know. So that game's always been a lot of fun, and I haven't played since the original on the GameCube. So it was like perfect timing for this. Perfect timing. Also the book club, I do want to shout them out as well, because I've just made more bookish friends, and I've been able to talk about like books with more people, which that's why I kind of joined the book community anyway. It has so many fun events. I love watching The Bachelorette on Tuesday nights tonight with you guys. Like, it's crazy. I can never watch The Bachelorette again by myself. Like, it's not a thing.
I never will be able to. Like, for those that you don't know, in the book club, we have something called, like, where we, like, watch movies and shows together. So we started when The Bachelorette just came out. We all are on this, like, Discord chat, and we all watch it at the same time, live together, drinking wine, sending selfies, sending gifts. Like, it is so fun. It's literally so fun.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So yeah, I really love the book club. I have found a community, and I feel like now that I'm kind of moving up in the ranks a little bit, I'm going to get to know even more people. I know there's some very exciting events coming for December that I'm hyped for.
First time being a team leader.
I know, so excited.
I'm going to crush your team.
You probably will, guys, being completely honest, but that's okay. I'm here for the laughs. I'm here for the friendships. And lastly, I want to shout out the podcast and the listeners. I've wanted to start a podcast for 2 years at least, but with teaching full-time and other responsibilities, I never thought I would be able to make it happen. Now, here I am with you, talking about things I'm thankful for, and it's come full circle. If you're listening, I appreciate you, and you're making the decision to tune in and spend time with us. Hopefully every other Monday means the world to me.
Yeah, I'm thankful that you actually asked me to like be part of your podcast. Like, I mean, gosh, of all the people that you could have asked, and you asked me.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of, well, knowing that, like I said, I've wanted to do it for a while, and then just with everything going on and with like COVID, and I was like, well, I have the time now. And then I was like, okay, I'm actually doing this right now. And I was like, who better to help me make it happen?
And we're both impatient people, so we're like, you want to start tomorrow? Okay, let's start tomorrow.
That was the best part. And I just know you're a hard worker, so like, who else am I possibly going to have on this? So let's chat about our end of the year TBRs. You know TBRs aren't my thing, but for some reason this year I felt compelled to look through my shelves and find some that I really wanted to read before the end of the year. Which books are you hoping to read before the new year?
Okay, we have a list of 7 books because I actually have not read that much in November. I will have off from work in December, so I'm planning on reading, I mean, like a decent amount, but I don't think I'm going to hit my end of the year goal because I have like, I'm kind of far behind. Like, I think I'm at like 80 and my goal is 100 and there's no way. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty lofty.
Yeah, well, I kind of got behind here in like October, November.
True story.
But the goal I am going to hit is I had a goal to hit 100% on NetGalley this year because at the beginning of the year, I think I was at like 30% or something like that. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like I didn't have hundreds and hundreds of books to read, but I just don't like seeing that very small percentage, and I'm like a completionist type of person, so I wanted to be able to screenshot just at least once this year that I got to 100%.
Screenshot it.
Yeah, and I need to screenshot it like now at the end of the year because like I want to go request books for 2021, but I'm so afraid because I requested one for 2021 and I got it, so now I'm like, like
you're like, well, gotta read it.
Yeah. Okay. So my first 4 books that I'm going to talk about are ones that I actually are the last 4 on NetGalley that I have to read. So I only have 4 left. One of them is The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher, which, you know, one of our most anticipated. I am so excited for that. Then I have The Drowning Kind by Jennifer McMahon. And I think that's the one that comes out. It's like April of 2021. So that one is very far in advance. But I read The Invited by Jennifer McMahon in one of my thriller videos, and I really liked it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. So I really want to read like her new book. And I also have an older one of her, The Winter People, that I didn't get to yet. So I hope I like that one. Then the next one I'm kind of nervous about, but it is a holiday book. It's In Holidays by Christina Lauren.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Remember earlier when you were saying you like those kind of, not time travel, but alternate reality type thing? Do you know what this is about?
Is it really?
So I knew you were going to talk about this one because it's on both of our anticipated, it's on both of our DVRs. But, like, girl, this one I think you might like. So she goes to Utah for like where she always spends Christmas or whatever. And I guess when she leaves, she shouts out into the universe, like, I wish that I could just be happy or something like that. And then there's like a, metal car crash or whatever. And then when she wakes up, she's back in the cabin in this Utah thing. And like, it's like a redo. So I'm like, I think you're going to like it.
Just kidding, guys. This is going to be a 5-star read.
I hope so for both of us. So it sounds like that Hallmark Channel movie thing. Yeah, I was like, I think we're gonna love it.
Okay, so I need to read In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, and they just really are hit or miss for me. So man, if they get a 5-star from me, what is life?
Exactly.
But then after that, I have He Started It by Samantha Downing, and this one has already been published. I just kept not reading, even though I really want to read it, but I had to send it back to the library, and I'm getting it back now, and I know you really like this one, Gwen, so really excited for that. Then I have the one that I am about to start reading, Sickened. This is by Julie Gregory. It is a memoir about Munchausen syndrome by proxy. And then I want to read a graphic novel. This one is by Debbie Tung, so the same illustrator from the very first graphic novel I ever read. And this one is about a married couple. It's called Happily Ever After. And I've had this on my shelf for a couple months, but I thought, that's cute. It's perfect. And for the TBR challenge we're doing in the book club, we have to read a graphic novel for that. And I was like, perfect. Like, that'll fit. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Then my last one, this is another, I don't know why. I am just in the mood for memoirs, and I don't know. It's just like a mood right now. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I have been wanting to read this for a while, and I just keep not like having the time to pick it up. And I have heard amazing things about it. And after having read The Night Swim by Megan Golden, and that kind of talks about rape culture, I really learned a lot from that book. And I wanted to kind of be more aware and learn more about rape culture. And this is a memoir about rape culture, I'm pretty sure. And so I am so excited to read this. And so those are the 7 books that I like really, really, really need to or want to read by the end of the year.
Sounds like a great list. And yeah, when I was at your house, I checked out that Know My Name, and I just read like a couple little pages, here or there. I just wanted to get a taste, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm excited about your list. So because November hasn't been the best reading month for me either, I set my expectations low with 7 books as well. So the first one I'm already currently reading, Little Women. It's been on my TBR all year, and I know what's going to happen because I'm more than halfway through. So I'm like, yes, I've been wanting to see the new movie, which I hear is amazing. So I'm waiting to watch that until I finish the book. Another book I'd really like to read this month is Red Herring Hunt, which is the second book in the Cozy Mystery series I started a few months ago. I did a whole vlog about reading my first Cozy Mystery. This one is by V.M. Burns, and it should be a good time. I want to try to read it this month in November because I feel like this particular series is better in the autumn time. And I was kind of inspired by my friend Spencer at Intentionally Bookish on YouTube and Instagram. We'll have her channel and her Instagram, all that linked in the notes of today's episode for you, so you can check her out because she gives so many good cozy mystery recommendations. But she made like a fall TBR, and she was putting like thrillers and like crazy things on there that she probably wouldn't normally get to. So I was like, okay, I see you going outside your comfort zone. I'm going to do that too. So yeah, I picked this one up on a whim. Loved it. It's a book within a book, which I typically don't like, but the main character in this is writing a story. So it was like 2 mysteries, and I can't wait to dive back into the series. So really excited about that one.
And she does like really, really good aesthetic like vlogs and stuff. So if you like cozy aesthetic vlogs, like then you'll definitely like her channel too.
Absolutely. Take a Hint, Dani Brown. Loved Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Huge fan of Talia Hibbert. And I picked up a used copy within the last month, and I need to make it a priority because I need to be ready for book number 3 in 2021. So excited about that one. And it's odd for me to put like romance on my TBR at the end of the year, but like, I guess I'm in the mood for it. The 4th book I want to get to is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And you've read this one. Don't quite remember your thoughts. So this is another book I hope to read this month. It's about Black twin sisters that run away at 16 and end up living 2 very different lives. One of the twins passes as white, and her white husband has no idea about her past, and the other sister returns to the town they ran away from. It takes place from the 50s to the 90s, from the Deep South to California. And the one sister passing as white reminds me of Passing by Nella Larson. And I did learn, I was like, this is a thing. So I'm hoping to learn a lot from it. And it is a fictional story, of course, but I just think it's going to be very eye-opening. But I am a little iffy because I want to try to read it in November. So I won't mind saving this one for 2021 if I don't get to it, but I would like to read it.
I feel like you would probably like it. It's more of like historical fiction slash women's fiction. And those are both genres that I don't typically enjoy reading. So I think I had rated it 3 stars.
And that's still pretty good.
Yeah. I just think that you'll enjoy it more than me.
And I'm going to try to get it on audio, so that will probably help a little bit. Like you, I want to read In the Holidays by Christina Lauren, which I expect to be on a lot of readers' end of the year TBR. It's the newest release from the author duo. It sounds like a Hallmark Channel Christmas movie, and I love those, so I'm hoping I love this one too. And not only am I like in general excited to read this book, but it's up for discussion in my book club. So I'll be starting that one on December 1st. Really excited. Okay, 2 more to go for me. One by One by Ruth Ware. initially I was so excited about this one, but then I started hearing mixed reviews, and honestly, I need to stop letting people's opinions freak me out. So I'm like, goal for 2021? I don't know. Anyways.
That's a good goal.
Because I feel like I do get swayed by people's opinion, like,
me too
often.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, of course, like, if you have someone, like, that reads, like, the exact same books you do, and you always end up reading the books, and then they don't like a book or something like that. And I also just need to stop buying into the hype, you know? Like...
Yeah, the hype is really, I feel like, what gets a lot of people, and that's why I feel like I have such an unpopular opinion, because I feel like the hype goes opposite for me. When people hype something up, I tend to not like it as much then. But I don't think I'm going to read One by One by Ruth Ware, because I did read Turn of the Key and I hated it. And then I've tried to read a couple of her other books and I just couldn't get into them, so I DNF'd. So you'll just have to let me know how it is, I guess.
Yeah, I've pretty much rated all of her books 3 stars, except for Turn of the Key, which I really did end up enjoying. I think it was one of my favorite books of last year. It's not like an all-time favorite, but I really did enjoy it. So anyways, this is when a small startup company goes on a retreat and people in the group start disappearing one by one, a la Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. So I'm hoping I'll like it. But like I said, I have heard mixed things. So I know there's people out there that haven't liked it. Some people that have. I'm just going to try to block it all out and read for me. And the last one that I'd finally like to read is This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins, which focuses on 2 people born on New Year's Day. One person is the prized first to be born, picture in the paper. They get like a check, like money, that ends up leading a life of luck, while the other one, not so much. After years of misconnections, they are about to bump into one another again. So the book explores the way fate leads us to the people we least expect, no matter what the odds.
That sounds good.
Can you imagine, like, 2 pregnant women, they're in the hospital about to give birth, and they're like, I have to be the first one to deliver. Like, what the heck?
You'll have to let me know how that one is. That one kind of sounds like something up my alley.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited about it. So I want to jump into talking about, like, maybe some of our holiday Thanksgiving plans, since this is our Thanksgiving episode. Are there any like traditions or plans that you have for like this year, or do you do this kind of same thing every year? I know you like to cook. What do you like to cook? That's what I'm more interested in.
Well, this year I'm actually, since I've been doing a lot of like sourdough stuff, because I started my own sourdough starter I guess maybe a month ago. I think I'm going to make sourdough rolls for Thanksgiving, because I'm actually going to finally see my dad. I haven't seen my dad since May, and so we're going to have Thanksgiving at his house. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Like, who knows what happens week to week. But yeah, so I want to make like sourdough rolls. And I'm not sure if I'm making anything else, just because it's really hard. He lives in Pennsylvania, so it's hard to like cook stuff and drive that far, and so that's why
you have to figure it out when you get there.
yeah but I'm after Thanksgiving, like we'll have Thanksgiving, and then when we come back, like we'll literally be moving just a couple days later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is what I'm most excited for, especially because normally we put our Christmas decorations up November 1st, and we didn't do that because, I mean, we're packing up the house, like, obviously. So I cannot wait to pull out all of the Christmas stuff on December 5th or whatever and have it up, because like we're the kind of people that, like, you know, we want Christmas to last like 2 months, not just 1 month.
I know,
yeah. So I am pretty sad because everyone else is like showing off their Christmas trees and stuff, and I'm like,
and I'm not an early decorator, but we did get our stuff out of our storage space earlier, and I was like, maybe I could put up the tree early this year. I think we all need a little joy. It's 2020 still somehow. So.
Yeah, well, and I'm also really excited. I'm going to have like a game night Christmas party with a lot of my coworkers at work, and we all get tested like weekly because of our jobs and stuff. So, you know, for those of you that don't want a lot of people in one house, like we do get tested every single week. And so, yeah, we're going to have like almost like a housewarming party. But yeah, I'm going to make like Christmas cookies, and I'm going to make bourbon balls, and I'm going to make a big
I need your recipe
cheese
for
board.
bourbon balls. I was literally thinking
good.
about bourbon balls like the other day. I haven't had them since I was a kid. My grandma used to make them, and they were really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, flashback to like 80s, 90s Christmas cookie days. Like, that's what I want.
My mom
so, like,
always made bourbon balls.
Yes, I need that recipe.
Okay. It's very easy. I will give it to you. And
oh my gosh, I'm so excited now. I was literally thinking about that the other day.
That is so weird because we didn't even talk about it.
I know.
But yeah, so, and I want to make a big like cheese board and stuff, and then everyone's kind of bringing like a side dish. Like someone said that their mom is gonna make their like famous mac and cheese, and I was like, yes,
I love mac and cheese.
Me too. So really excited for that.
I need to get a job at your work really quick so I can be at this Christmas party and be tested and be safe
show
and
up.
all that. Like,
yep, I'll see you there. Yeah, so we're gonna play like Just Dance, and I think someone's bringing like a karaoke machine, and then we're gonna like eat and just have a really good time. And then my sister actually is having her baby shower January 2nd, and then she's also gonna kind of have like a New Year's Eve party.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and she lives over actually where you live, Gwen.
Near me.
So I'll probably see you too. Yeah, so we're gonna go over there and do like New Year's. Well, I'll probably see Gwen first.
Yay!
I'll get to meet your husband. Yeah, and then we'll do New Year's Eve, and then the baby shower, and then I think we'll be like done traveling and just kind of relax a little bit before we go back to work. If we go back, who knows? I mean, there might be a lockdown. I don't know. Are we going back to work?
I feel like, how is this still happening?
I know. Can you believe like it's getting close to like it's gonna be a year? That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, like, wow.
So what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm doing Thanksgiving at my house most likely. Like I said, we had a little thing happen with my mother-in-law, so I think the plan is still to do it at my house because I do the majority of the cooking. But it's going to be me, my husband, my mother-in-law, and her roommate. I mean, they've been living together. We've been over there. It's all good. So it's just going to be the four of us. I wouldn't want them to have Thanksgiving alone, and like, I don't really like having Thanksgiving alone, although that means more green bean casserole for me.
Oh my gosh, I love green bean casserole.
Actually, my sorority sister, like down the line, one of my Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority sisters created the green bean casserole. Ooh, so like I'm like personally attached to the green bean casserole. Like okay, so anyway. So okay, so Thanksgiving at my house, we always watch the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade, and it's going to include this year both live and pre-recorded elements, and it should be good. I don't know if it'll be the same. Maybe it'll be better. Who knows? I'm still going to tune in, see what happens, and then we also put up our Christmas tree. We either do it like at night, like after kind of Thanksgiving is, your food has settled, you've taken a nap, the football game is over, then we try to put up the tree. But like I said, I might actually put up my tree early this year and then just decorate after. So I don't know. And then we usually talk about like, okay, what are we going to do for Christmas? But like we said, everything's kind of up in the air. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow.
You are welcome to come to my house for Christmas if you want.
Yay, that would be so fun. Let's just move in with each other.
Okay.
So, one thing I am really looking forward to this weekend, because when I visited you, you were so kind and gave me some of your sourdough starter. So, I made my own earlier in quarantine, but I realized pretty quickly there was no way I was going to keep up with it. So, instead of doing the sensible thing, I threw my entire batch of sourdough starter out. And I had like a 5-day starter. Like, what was I thinking? Yeah. I literally spent like a month like nursing this starter. And then I was like, I can't keep up with all this bread. You were like trash. I was like, throw it away. So at the time, the problem is for a normal non-chef, non-culinary arts degree person, I was only thinking about bread. Like because sourdough bread is literally my favorite. And how much bread can one person eat? I mean, a lot, but not that much. So yeah, I just threw it all out, and then I kind of regretted it, but I was like, do I really want to start the process over again? And then you told me you made a start, and I was like, hey girl, hey, hook me up. And then you made those delicious sourdough like pizza crusts with like all the delicious toppings. And I still think about that pizza. So, and I ordered my very first Misfits Market box, and that should be in like towards, I think I can get it on Friday. And then so I have my sourdough starter ready. I've already fed it. It's looking good. It's nice and bubbly. It has that smell. So I think I'm going to attempt the pizzas that you made. I'm hoping that I can recreate some magic.
Better be in a vlog.
I'm so excited. But yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm excited about. What about you?
So I'm actually gonna have this weekend off, and I think Alvin's gonna have off too because we like both of our the places that we work at are like they close Friday because all the students leave, and then a couple days before Thanksgiving we're doing like cleaning days. So for Saturday and Sunday, like we're not having business or whatever. Nice. So I think that Alvin and I are gonna have off the whole weekend together. Wow. And I might ask him. Yeah, we might see if there's like a winery that we could go to because like our jobs are like we work totally different schedules, and so I hardly ever have the same days off as Alvin, or he'll get off early and I close, and like I hardly get to see him. So I really want to like be able to just like relax, spend time with him. There's like 2 movies that I really want to watch. One of them is directed by Jordan Peele. He did he's the one that did Get Out and Us, and just recently Antebellum, which we just watched the other day, and it was so good. And I realized I didn't watch Ma, which is also by him. So I really want to watch that. But then, speaking of the Munchausen by proxy syndrome, there's this movie that just came out on Hulu called Run, and it stars Sarah Paulson. And yeah, I want to watch that one because it's literally about like someone with that syndrome. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. So I think we're just gonna like chill, watch movies, eat, drink wine, relax.
Sounds so fun.
Yeah. Finally, I'm so glad the holidays are coming.
I know.
We hope you enjoyed this Thanksgiving episode of Talk Bookish to Me. Remember, every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. Tell us what you're thankful for this year by emailing us at talkbookishpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at talkbookishpodcast. To support the show, take a moment to rate and review us on Apple Podcast or leave us a review on your social media. Make sure to tag us. Plus, sharing it with your friends and family is always nice.
Our next episode will be available on December 14th, where we'll discuss our reading goals for 2021. And our last episode of this year will be on December 28th, discussing the best and worst books of 2020. So a slight tweak in scheduling for December, but exciting things planned. Until next time, happy reading and happy Thanksgiving.